depends on what everyone wants to do.
What everyone wants to do. Sure.
So draft. Are we officially live yet?
We are live.
Because
Welcome to the dungeon.
Because I am excited.
You're excited. What are you excited for?
I'm excited. The news, man. The news.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to that here momentarily. Was he?
Why you gotta spoil it?
Else?
You gotta let him. No, he was not.
Okay.
Check 1 2.
Boom.
Yeah. For some reason, my computer.
Do I need to turn? Okay, it's not my microphone being too loud to get like on PlayStation.
It's just I'm here to eat too many potato chips.
Okay.
Okay. I think we're okay. I'm really running like next to nothing. So. Someone else talk.
Hello.
Yo.
Hello. Hey, buddy.
Okay. CPU usage is really high.
Stop watching porn.
You know, I try.
You're gonna watch it incognito. It helps lower the CPU.
Stop the recording for tonight. That'll drop my CPU usage. For sure. Yeah, already by half. All right. So everybody sounds good. Welcome to the dungeon. We are here. And we are...
it's Monday.
It's Monday. The best day of the week. Most people don't like Mondays. Around here, we love Mondays. So, yeah, glad to have you. We didn't do a stream last week of other games, so we'll have to fix that this week. We'll definitely get some Phasmo in there. We've been playing some Tribes of Midgard, but that's really tough to stream because it really takes your whole amount of focus. And I don't want to ignore the community. So we'll get some other games in there soon. But to one of our announcements, let me shut Zormir off until he shows up. There we go. That way we don't just see the big blue blob. We've got some exciting news as we move forward here. Let me make this. No, I can't make it full screen. We changed some
Football
things around.
Season's coming.
Football season is coming. Go Bengals. As long as you're not a Dirty Rotten Steelers fan, right?
That's right.
We got one of those in the group here, and one side group person, someone's significant other. But
yeah, one of the main downfalls.
you know,
Hey,
you
now.
get the whole package. You get the whole package. You know, at least you got to choose.
There you go.
Arlo just comes into the family as one. You know, it's
right. Trying to turn everybody.
Yeah. So, no, our exciting news is we've made some changes around the around our system and everything, and we now want to introduce to everybody that you can think about us all the time, because we now officially have our merch store set up. So you can now get 7 Dungeons coffee mugs, phone cases, sweatshirts, t-shirts, stickers, and you can sport us wherever you're going. Several different colors to pick from. If you enjoy our stream, you can help a 70 G-string. You know, if that was an option, I would get one just for you, and it would be like the Cuddles logo behind the 70 Dungeons logo. But yeah, we now have, thanks to
the logo would be incognito. You could play Where's Waldo with the logo.
So we've got women's t-shirts and zip-up hoodies and everything, so that everybody can now sport us wherever you go. And we've got more designs coming. Like I said, we have one very special one. So we now have the shop set up, and let me get that in there if you would like to visit that. There's the
get you that hard copy.
Yes.
That picture.
So we can get that on there. But exciting stuff. We've got a whole new setup. If you go over to our Twitch page, we got some new panel buttons down at the bottom. If you like our stream and want to help us out anymore. But that's exciting stuff. So we'll look forward to seeing that. But that's our exciting news, everybody, for today. I think Pika did end up where he's at and kidnap Z. We don't know where he's at. So, and there's Fanboy. He's making dinner. Are you making dinner out of Zoramir? Because that
is the
point-
big question.
It is a big question. So, all right.
Make dinner for all of us.
Let's get this going here so we can at least have some stuff going. All right, but hey, thanks for showing up tonight. We're gonna get started. We've got a lot of fun things to do, though. Oh,
Toby's tears.
it is August now. Well, happy August, and a special shout out if they're watching. It's my mom's birthday today. So
Oh, happy birthday.
happy birthday, Drastin mom.
Drax's
So,
mom. Yes.
so
Is
she
it
said
Moston?
Momston. Oh, that's great.
Moston. It's like Martin. It's Moston.
So, no, I completely lost my train of thought. So I guess we'll have to play D&D now. Oh no, it's August. Sometime this month, we'll do another instructional stream. And thanks to King Cuddles, talking to him, he said our topic will be, now that you've created your character, what's next? So talk about combat and spells and abilities and some of those things. So we'll do another instructional video sometime this month. So we'll let you know when that's coming up. Hey, Meadowlark. Oh, I wonder if that's Momston.
That's what I was gonna ask.
I bet it is. She figured out Twitch.
No
Yeah.
way. No way.
All right, we're going to get started here. Last week, the party returned back from the mines and playing no game, definitely. The party returned back from the mines and back to Svarkat, where they took a much-needed rest and enjoyed the celebration in Svarkat. Blaylock snuck off into the evening air and ran into Karajinin as he worked on implementations for the people of the village. And quickly he agreed to bring the group with Karajinin to his workshop, which was a bit of travel to the northeast. So the party called their special mounts that they got from the elves and rode them as far as they could before passing into a cave and arriving at the doors to the workshop. Karajinin uncovered the magically hidden doors as they swung open. And he welcomes all of you into his workshop. He slowly walks inside, and you begin moving through smoothly carved halls that slowly open into a larger room. The air inside is thick with the smell of burning oils and a light hum of machinery that just echoes through the chamber. Blaylock, you feel a sense of excitement, almost like a kid at Christmas, as you hear this machinery churning away. And you also hear just the soft ticking of gears turning, just a click, click, click. And the air here is cool and slightly damp. As you pass into the larger room, the ceilings rise several feet into the air, and torches line the wall, burning with a subtle warm glow that seems to glint off metal objects that lie scattered in small cutouts in the chamber itself. Karajinen looks at you. This way. And somebody yell at me, by the way, if Zormir shows up.
Okay.
I can't see. He motions that way. Does anybody want to do anything before you continue walking? Questions?
Is is that what I think it is over there? And pointing at one of the contraptions over there to the side. That technology I thought was lost. And what is this? This is fascinating.
Possibly.
So I'm just gonna wander over there.
Yes, what can I show you?
I'm very curious. How long have you been studying and practicing the arts?
Quite some time. And as you get closer and begin looking around at the things that are in the room, there's a lot of you notice more decorations as you move around the room. You see tapestries and paintings around the room. You see weapons of just various types. They rest on the wall as in like a display case, and everything looks like it's hundreds of years old. And as you get close, out from a hole cut in the wall, you see a small construct creature. It kind of crawls like a spider out of the hole and begins crawling up the side of the wall. And you see it crawl up to one of the pieces, and you hear zzz, as a little puff of air blows the dust off of a couple of the weapons, and another one comes out and begins. A rod comes out of its back and begins hitting some of the tapestries, and dust kind of falls down into the air, making the air a bit dry as they continue to scurry about the room. And they come over to you, and you can see them almost looking at you, looking up and down before they scurry off to the other side.
I see they are attending the displays. You don't want them getting too out of in disorder. And I'm just gonna follow it along as it's going through and doing its cleaning.
When one lives by themselves, it helps to have some assistance. Keep things in order.
Wonderful. Look,
Remember why we're here for, Blaylock.
Yes.
Grayson,
Yes,
you notice that there are, just kind of taking in your surroundings, that there's four paintings that surround the room of various cities.
On the island? Or just in general?
In general, all of them have a small nameplate listing the name of the cities underneath it, and they're low enough where you can read them from a distance.
So it seems you do collect all kinds of things.
I do. I enjoy having something nice to look at. It may not be the elegant residences of Castle Verminia, but for me, it's home. Shall we proceed?
Yes, let's do that.
Yes. Yes, more. I would like to see more. Please.
Sure, Blaylock, you'll get your chance.
Burning with questions, Blaylock.
Very, very much.
I do have something that I gotta do. he takes you further in, and as you walk down the main central hallway, to the west, you see another tunnel cut out, a light glow coming from there. And as you look down that hallway, you hear the low roar kind of echoing down from the hall. And you see at the very end a large furnace burning brightly. And you can hear mechanized sounds of automated forges. And Karajinin continues passing by that and walks forward a bit farther. A few moments later, he comes to a large door and places a hand on it and slowly opens it up, and it cracks open. You will find what I described within this room. I will be in my study down the hall here when you need me. Feel free to explore my home as needed. I am greatly inclined to sell things you find of interest to you. And when you're ready to return, I can escort you back to town. Do not be alarmed at my creations. They keep a watchful eye for me. If you require rest, there are suitable accommodations down the hall on the west. That would not be the forge room. That would be one door down. I do request that you stay out of the reliquary. It is easily marked and identified, and only contains my personal effects, which are of no interest to you. The study is at the end of the hall.
Yes. Of course. Thank you. Will you be joining us in the study at some point?
I will be in the study if you need me. It is getting late.
Oh,
so
you're being the study.
I will be in the study.
Yes.
The things you seek are here in the library, down this hall. It is getting late, so I will be.
Sorry, it is very distracting. There's so much to take in.
Yes.
Focus, Blaylock. Focus.
I will be turning in early tonight. If you need food or supplies, there's nothing that my children can't supply to you.
Thank you.
Any kind of organization to this library?
Unfortunately, I don't spend as much time as I should in there. They send me these things, I just kind of have my constructs pull them in there and push them to the side. I really have been meaning to organize it better, but I've been quite busy.
Do your constructs have any idea as to where they could be, or do they not have that capability? Memory,
They
I
do
speak
not have
of.
that kind of sentience. They are all created with a specific purpose in mind.
Understandable. Thank you.
Yes. Do enjoy your stay here. Stay as long as you like. And
Well.
with that, he kind of turns and bows down to you and walks down to the door at the end of the hallway and closes it behind him.
Well, I'm not sure about the rest of you, but this is quite a collection. Where does one begin?
Fortunately, since he has no knowledge of where these things would be, I suggest we split up and just start looking.
Yes.
Basically, everybody grab a box.
So these are in boxes, or are they kind of like on shelves, or?
You don't know because you're not in the room yet.
I thought we were in the room.
Nope, you're
No, we're in the
outside in the hallway.
Oh, we're in the hallway. Oh,
Give
okay.
me
I got you now. All right.
1 second. second.
Oh no, that means doom. The map means doom.
Does it mean doom? It means that I listened to
Or
the pissiness of not having a map of Portstown for all that time.
Just a heads up, Drastin, we don't actually see it on the Zoom.
I know I'm
No,
getting
he's
there.
getting it squared away.
I had it all pre-set up.
Mm-hmm.
is Zormir coming in?
Hmm.
I
We
don't
hope
haven't
so.
heard.
Yeah.
Zormir is currently sleeping off the pie he keeps eating.
I just asked
Yes.
because you turned him back on the
Well, it's different
Twitch.
scene. All right, I sent it to you.
Got it. Is that in there for the chat as well?
Yeah,
It's
it's in the edge.
Oh, I see it now. Okay, good. We there.
So you're at the beginning of the small hallway to the library.
Just north of the collection.
Yep.
Probably past the forge room
First,
too. Okay.
first door
Yeah,
to the
probably-
east. Yep.
Yep. Well, I am going to go into the library and begin.
I will help you with that because it seems to be a lot we're going to have to search through.
That would be most helpful.
All right. Grayson, what are you doing?
Sorry, somebody banged at the door.
Okay.
I guess I'm just gonna kind of dig in and see what kind of things he has in the library.
Arlo, what are you going to do?
I'm just gonna kind of do the same thing. Just kind of walk around, look at everything that we got going on and
In the library?
in the library, and see if
Okay.
see what Blaylock wants me to hone in on.
All right. So you all gather together and walk down the hallway, and as you start walking down the hallway, you smell the scent of old books and paper, just that old library smell. And you continue to walk down until it opens up into a large rectangular room. On the north side of the room, you see books stacked neatly on shelves, book after book after book. There quite possibly could be 1,000 books here. A ladder rests on a rail in the corner, is set to reach books that are on the higher shelves. The lighting is much better here compared to the other halls you've passed through in the entry chamber. And you see a small construct that, in place of legs like you normally see, has a wheel that zips by and cleans the books off and the crates. In the south of the room, you see crates stacked neatly next to a couple chests and a small square chest. Some chests are normal, and then there's a small square chest that rests in the corner.
I'm going to go to the small square chest in the corner.
That's what you're going to go to? Okay.
Yep.
What's everyone else going to?
I'm looking for anything that catches my eye, especially since I'm used to libraries and all that kind of stuff. I'm looking for anything that I might think has something to do with this island. I'm like bypassing anything I might think that is just random collections that he's got.
Okay. So you kind of look at the bindings of the books that you see to see if there's anything that sticks out to you. They seem to hail from all over the known world, not just Drakenwald. Some of them are written in languages you're not familiar with, while others are in common. They tend to range from historical books to books on engineering and combat. It's just a wide array of books. So that's what you're looking at. Blaylock, what are you doing?
All right. So the books you said you see. Well, you said engineering, world, and you said
Historical
combat.
books. Yep.
Yeah, combat and history. Got it. Okay. Okay. I'm going to begin just like opening books, and where there is no structure, Blaylock must put in structure, and he's going to begin just from one shelf and start going through the books, and then start trying to organize them to try and figure out what the where the required information would be. So he's going to start categorizing them as like, these are history, and then this is more engineering, this is specific to Drakenwald, and then I'm just gonna start going through and start trying to put order to the chaos.
Dewey Decimal System. Great. Okay, so Grayson and Blaylock are looking at the books. Galtier is heading to the small chest in the corner. Arlo, what are you, and we'll say Zoromir's following you around, what are you and Zoromir going to do?
I think I'm just gonna look at some books. Just kind of, I want to look for some books on certain dragons. From when I was a kid, we always had dragons at our home. Just gonna kind of look to see if there's anything around.
Okay, you want to try to find books on that? All right. I would say, since Zoromir's not here yet, we don't know where he's at. Hope he's okay. He's going to go over to the crates and chests that are there, because that's what Zoromir would do. All right, so you guys are looking at books. Galtier, you were first to say to look at the
small chest.
The small chest. The chest you see is smaller than all the others, and it has an intricate pattern of paths cut into the lid in the shape of like a plus. Along the front edge is a long snake design with a long hinge that rests on the back of the chest. A pin rises from the center of the path cut in the box. That's what you see.
Does it open, or do I have to have a key for it? I'll try opening it.
It will not open, and there's no lock to pick. What do you want to do with the box?
I'm gonna bring it over to the group and say, guys, this is locked, but there's no lock on it.
What's your
Should we
passive
ask?
perception?
Not high enough, probably.
Just tell me what it is.
15.
Oh,
I didn't look it. Sorry.
yeah, that's plenty. When you
Okay.
pick it up to take it over to him, you notice there is writing on the back of the box.
Do I understand this writing?
It
It's
says,
a
"Do
common.
not lift for fear of death."
Well, no, it says lift with your legs, not your back.
Do you want to read the writing?
Yes, I would.
All right. What you read is a story, which you find odd. It says, I'll send this to chat. Long ago, I traveled far to the east in search of treasure and fame. My journeys led me all over the lands, from the harsh winters of the north to the sunny western coastline, where I met my Lucinda. She was a bright star from the heavens above, sent to pull me from the demonic embrace that had held my mind, and that tried to drag me down to the 9 hells. She comforted me and calmed my mind. We lived many years together, and together we always made a point to watch the sun rise as it did in our love.
Okay, so when I bring it over, I'm gonna talk to Grayson to mention him that the writing on the back of the book or back of the box talks about the 9 hells.
Okay.
Sorry, my screen is
We can't hear
freaking
you,
the hell
Grayson,
out right
if
now.
you're talking to us.
Oh, so hold on, I'm reading through it.
Okay. Okay. Well, they're doing that. Blaylock and Arlo. Arlo, you see Blaylock. He's just grabbing books, and if he understands a language, he's organizing them alphabetical as best he can. And like, you don't go here, pulls it out, puts it over there, and he's just organizing as much of the books as he can.
Blaylock.
Yes. Yes.
So we're not. I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think we're here to organize this library. We don't have months.
How can we determine and find what we need if there is not order?
Why don't you just read the back of the binder of the book and see if it's something you want to read?
I did, and I have books here that are for combat. I have books over here that are set aside for engineering. Oh, here's some right here on history. This is good. And so,
But-
if any of these interest you, I would encourage you, please start reading them while I continue to find. Obviously, if I find anything of note, then of special interest, I'm going to put them in a separate pile that is specific from the onset to the. Oh my.
So you want me just to read a book just because you pulled off the shelf, thought it was interesting, but it's nothing towards our goal.
Oh, Arlo.
Play
Give
on.
me a moment.
From the corner of the room, you hear Zoramir. Wow! Oh, wow!
Hello?
Yes,
Well-
Zoramir.
And I'm just gonna turn back around and start going back to the books.
You see him. He's got crates open and he's pulling stuff up and looking at it, and then setting in the box, going to the next crate, opening it up, pulling it up, looking at it, opening the chests and holding stuff up. You see all sorts of stuff that he's pulling out, from gauntlets to large gems to a suit of scale mail.
Somebody keep an eye on him.
As he starts opening these chests, there's two cutouts in the walls above there, and two of the constructs come crawling out of there, and this odd head-shaped appendage begins just surveying the room and watching everything you guys are doing.
Zoramir, don't put any of that in your pockets.
What do you mean? I wouldn't do that.
Well, we
We
know you
will be
would.
checking.
We are being watched. Obviously, if you don't realize and look up, we're being watched. Then I'm gonna look at Grayson and going, am I the only one that's skeptical about all this information being given to us? Why
Technically,
he's
it's not
so
being
nice.
given. We're paying for it, yet we still don't know how much.
I just don't have a good feeling about this.
Guys, I think we should get some of this.
Zoramir? No.
We could pay for it. Grayson's got lots of money. You come from royalty, right?
The great beasts of the Perminian Ocean. Fascinating. You go over here.
You see him pull out a rapier out of one of the chests, and he just begins like swiping it through the air. Oh, I like that. And he sets it back down. He pulls out a massive sword, and he holds it up, and it just kind of illuminates the room a bit as he pulls it out, and he's looking over it, and he sets it back down.
Zoromir, don't make us have to put you in timeout.
But you really should look at this stuff.
Is any of it a
Ugh.
book about history?
No,
Or
it's
anything that might-
nothing boring like that.
We're here for information.
I've got books of history over here, and I point at a stack.
That's 25 books high already. I still have this chess speech. Should figure out how to open.
But
I'll
That's-
maybe go over there and
I was
look
planning
what
on.
he's doing.
I'm gonna go over there and
If you
Growling.
find things that you might think that interest us, he did say something about selling us items that we come across if we really need it. I leave that in your judgment.
okay. I'll go over there and kind of stand next to Zoramir. But
Arlo, look at this.
Stop.
You really
Stop.
need to look at this.
Take a breath.
This would fit you.
What is it?
And you see he pulls open the first thing. He goes back to the crate. He shuts the two chests. He goes back over to the crate and he lifts up, and it's kind of a dark glinting scale mail. And you see, like, attached to it is a tag of some sort, and the words are written in Dwarvish.
Do you know what this says?
I don't know what it says. Do you know what it says? It looks cool though.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay, so as you read the tag, this tag says Black Dragon Scale Mail.
Hmm.
And then he just
So-
drops it and he runs over to another crate. Look at this! And he throws open another crate and he pulls up these strange looking shackles. And you kind of reach over and grab the tag because it's spinning in his hands, and you see dimensional shackles.
Zoramir, I wouldn't mess with those.
I think we could put these on Grayson for a joke.
But if he comes back into this dimension, you're as good as dead.
No, he knows we just kid. It's not real. He doesn't really.
Well, geez,
think-
Zoramir, why don't you try them on?
Because of this, and he reaches back into another crate and holds up this large gem in like a gold setting. Not something you would wear, but something you would hold. And you see a tag kind of spinning from it.
Yeah, and what does that say?
So you reach over and grab it, and it says Gem of Seeing.
Gem of what?
Seeing.
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 Oh, seeing. I don't think this is something that you and I need to have in our possession, Zoramir. So why don't you just put that one back down?
And he just drops it and runs over to another crate. Fine. How about this? And he holds up a large set of gauntlets. They're kind of a dark metal with intricate runes carved over them. I think these would fit.
That who? You?
Maybe.
Look how big these things are.
They would fit.
I'll read the tag.
The tag says Gauntlets of Ogre Power. Here-
Does he
but
read the tag out loud?
are you reading the tag out loud?
Yeah, not like super loud, but just kind of like reading it so that him and I don't know how close everybody else is to me, if they can hear it or not.
What's your passive
Hmm.
perception, Blaylock?
Oh, we're playing that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
With
guys want to bring
disadvantage
it in?
because you're too busy.
Well, he's
Yeah,
not,
I'm
he's
ve- I'm
not
very
rolling
busy.
it. I got.
Yeah, I was like, I can't roll it. I don't even think that's
No.
possible.
A month ago, you
Um,
were griping because we had it.
14.
No, you don't hear. He's
Okay.
saying them, but you're not paying attention enough to get it.
Hmm. Hmm.
What
Hmm.
about the? I think this is for you.
Hallister.
And he
Hmm.
reaches down, and you do find a book about Hallister, by the way. And he pulls out this shield, a pretty large size shield. What about this? You use these, right?
I don't use a shield. Have you ever seen me use a shield?
You've always wanted one, right?
Want and need is two different things. What is so special about the shield? I'll pick up the tag and read it.
Enchanted shield +2.
Uh-oh.
Grayson, what are you doing during all this?
I'm just continuing to go through
'Kay.
books.
What's your
to see
passive
if I find
perception?
it. 18.
You hear some of these names, but you're not really focusing in on anything. Galtier, you're still reading the box, looking at the box.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's you brought that up. I
I
forgot.
was like, I can take it to Caragena. I don't mind if you guys are busy.
Sorry. Okay, so I read the back of this thing.
It seems like
there
a love
anything-
story. I wonder what's in it.
Is there anything on like the top of the chest or anything like that that would suggest it's got like a opening mechanism or
Just the only thing that seems odd is you see the hinge on the back, and then along the front, going around the other three sides of the box, is a carved snake.
an interesting story, but I'm not quite sure if it's meant to be a puzzle. I'm not seeing any kind of
Well, on the top of
contraptions
the
or
box,
mechanisms.
well, the top of the box, if you didn't catch that because you might have been offline, is a carved like plus shape, and there's a rod that rests right in the center.
Does the rod move?
You can check it out.
Okay. Well, since we really don't know anything, maybe pull the lever east, then north, west, south, and east again? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not the puzzle expert. And I fear that if this thing is trapped, Zoromir will do nothing but destroy it, and past experience proves anything. He really sucks at opening traps, but disarming traps and opening chests.
Ooh, another one.
I want to check my inventory because I know I have 2 keys that say OVK on them.
Okay.
And do either of them look like they would fit? Do either of them have a cross shape, a plus sign with a
No.
hole in the center?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I guess if you want to ask about it, he did say he was pretty
In his
open
study.
to discussing anything that we might find.
Zoromir, with all the digging in these boxes, have you seen anything that looks like it might fit this? I'll show him the top of the box.
No, but I found these, and he holds up the gauntlets again. These massive.
Okay, I'm just gonna
gauntlets.
walk out of the room. I'm gonna go talk to Karen Jean and then. No, so I'll walk out and go north towards the study room.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm going back to looking at.
Okay.
Looking for anything that might have Dragon Vault on the cover.
Arlo. Do you want to continue with Zoromir?
Yeah, because I need to keep him corralled, kind of, sort of.
So he said, "Fine.
So-
You don't use shields. So how about this?" And he opens one of the chests and he pulls out a pretty good, a sizable longsword that kind of illuminates the room just a bit.
I'll read it.
It says Sunblade.
Okay.
And then he just kind of drops it in the box. He's like, "But this is what I'm excited about. Look at this." And he pulls
But
out.
you're excited about everything.
Well, look at all of it. And he opens the other
There
chest
is
and
a
pulls
lot.
out a rapier that the blade is black, and through the metal you see etched dark red. They look like cracks through the blade.
That looks interesting. What's it say?
Rapier of life stealing.
I think this would be probably something that you could probably use. So Ramir, I mean, I'm sure you got plenty of gold to pay for this because
No,
you know this stuff's not free.
maybe Grayson will buy it for me.
Yeah.
Do I hear that? Because I will laugh.
You said you're 18. I would say, yeah, you hear that passively.
Yeah. I say it loud enough. Yeah. Good luck with that.
So unless you come off of some of your hard-earned gold, you won't be having this. But this would probably be something that you could have just to keep you alive. Seeing how you are the weakest one of us, you get hurt easy.
Do we really trust him with something that saps life force?
Well, I look on my shoulder. Well, that is a good point. Until he uses it on us.
I want to try something with that box before I get to Carrageenan.
Can
I-
So what do you
Okay.
want to do?
I want to wipe off right where the cross is, make sure to see if there's any directions on it.
Nope.
I want to try. Can I push it? So if I'm facing the box,
Yep.
Can I take the pin and push it right?
Okay. Yeah, it moves to
North.
the right. Okay.
So right, north, west. Pull it up.
Like
If it pulls up,
pull, it doesn't pull
like
up.
check. Okay. Does it push down either?
It does not push down.
Okay. I was reading against this poem a lot, the story a lot. So north or east, northwest, and then east again.
Okay.
Does anything happen?
Okay. So you push those directions, and as you press the final one and let it rest in the center, you see the snake begin to curl back from the corner of the box, and it almost animated. It just kind of slides around the box, and it gets about halfway, and you see it slam back forward, locking the box down, and
Pinch my fingers.
everything in you just begins to lock up, and your hands clench harder against the box, and you just fall flat on your back. You're still conscious, but you cannot move.
Mistakes are made.
All right. Blaylock, what are you doing? It's a couple hours have gone by at this point, by the way. You guys have been in
Oh, I've casted Tiny Servant, and I've got Tiny Servant set up so that he can hold on to the staff, and then Leo's gonna, and he's just moving along the shelves, with Leo there, and Leo's just coordinating with me as to what books are what, and then so I can help keep keep this moving.
Wow, Blaylock, you, oh, this is an interesting one. I haven't seen this one. And, oh, what about this one?
And he moves down
Hmm.
the, looking at various books before he stops at one.
Wow, this is interesting.
Hmm.
This used to be my book.
Ah, excellent. Here, I'm gonna put that into a special pile, like for me.
All right. So you take the book and kind of set it into one of your sorting piles for you.
Do we find anything on craft?
Surprisingly, as you look through all these books, nothing immediately jumps out of the ones you can read.
Yeah.
Nothing immediately jumps out of you as referencing craft.
Okay. So just continuing to look through, we're looking for books on craft. We're looking for more on the Black Tower, about Hallister, and the Great Labyrinth along the Sword Coast. Anything, and I'm looking for references from my book, the book that I've already read, and trying to find any corresponding books.
You find several books on Hallister and Undermountain and Black Tower. A lot of books from that side of the world.
Okay. So that's gonna go there. Yes, that one. What about Runespoke? We seen anything about Runespoke? Like this, I'd like to confirm whether we were already there at Runespoke or not.
Not yet. You haven't found anything. It's only been a couple hours, and there are a lot of books here.
Lots of books. Okay. Anything that I see on Protorama, I'm going to go ahead and set aside for Zoramir, in case he sees anything of note there. Considering that was a bunch of halflings who used to worship this Protorama.
Okay. Grayson. A couple hours have gone by. You've looked at a lot of books. You see Blaylock. You may never get him out of this room again. Looking and stacking books up.
Oh, this reminds me of my childhood and how much I hated studying. So much information and nothing of use.
AFK.
Blaylock, is there anything that you have found that might be relevant to what we're looking for, or in the slightest bit helpful?
Oh, yes. Here, and I point him over to those books we set aside about Hallister and about the Black Tower. And I've said, here, you can start here.
I'll go over and start reading the stuff that he's already pulled, since I'm not finding anything myself.
Okay. All right. You sit and read and kind of expand your mind into the histories of the Sword Coast and the things that the shattering and all the things that happen over there.
Grayson, what languages can you read?
Currently fluid in Abyssal, Celestial, Dwarvish, and Infernal.
That is quite... You are very well learned. Do any of these look discernible to you? And I'll point to the stack of books that I couldn't make heads or tails of because they're in a different language.
Some of them are in Dwarvish. None of them are in Abyssal or Infernal.
But Celestial.
No.
Okay.
Dwarvish, what do I see in Dwarvish?
A lot of them are references to Breckenfjord, and all the things, Uth Melanon, those kind of books. A lot of them reference Uth Melanon, actually. So you recognize these
Now
are
we've got
pretty old and kind of look like they're in the condition that some of the other books you found in Uth Melanon were in.
So I will pull the ones in Dwarvish out. These might be of interest. I'll take a look at these. They're Uth Melanon and Breckenfjord. They might have some info. The rest of it I don't know. Well, yeah, the rest of them are just in languages I don't know either.
Yeah.
Okay. The other ones I'm not quite sure.
If you see anything about a great sorceress from, please let me know. Most curious about this.
If I read anything on your mother, I will let you know.
Thank you.
Okay, so Grayson and Blaylock kind of prop themselves up and reading books, browsing through them. Arlo, what are you and Zormir going to do? He showed you everything he could find in the crates and boxes. The constructs are still watching over you.
So, Z, is there anything that you think you need to have that you want to pay for?
I mean, maybe?
Well, just remember, you're paying for it, so don't ask nobody.
Well, you know,
Meanwhile, do not put those in your pocket.
we're pretty good friends. You want to buy this for me?
God.
No.
I punch him in the face.
Just close the lids. We'll talk about this later once we get done reading all these books.
Yeah. I
AFK
mean,
just for a minute.
that rapier would be kind of nice, and who couldn't use those shackles?
I don't think you need them, no. We
So what
might think about it as a group.
What do you two want to do?
I'm just gonna look at it and say, just don't pocket anything. They're watching you. And I'll go over to Blaylock and ask him if there's anything he wants me to read through.
Yes. Over here. These may be of interest to you. Look at all these books on combat. See if those are of note to you. Maybe these, if you wish to help. These are on some of the history of Dreckenwald.
I'll grab a book on combat.
Zormir kind of sits in the corner, and he turns and looks at the crates, and then he turns and looks at you guys with a bored look, and he's just, and then he walks out into the hallway, just as Galtier, your muscles free back up, you're able to move again. And you see Zormir standing over you.
I'm gonna get up
Taking a nap.
and be like, Z, you want to try something, or you want to try something for me real quick? Worst case scenario, you're taking a nap.
Sure. I'm good with whatever. What do you need?
I'm gonna head in the box. You'd be like, move that east, north, west, and then east, west.
So he takes it. And he kind of looks at you funny, and east, north, west, then what? East, west.
East to west.
So, and as he pulls the final pull, he looks at it. The snake begins moving back, and it fires forward again. And you see, you just hear like a magical doof. This is beautiful, by the way. You see his mouth moving. But you hear nothing coming out of it.
I'm gonna grab him and lead him back into the library. I'm like, hey, Grayson, I tried moving it the way you told me to, minus one direction. I got paralyzed, and it shut Z up.
And he comes in there, and you see his mouth moving, and he's making all these hand motions as he talks, but nothing's coming out.
Oh, we might need to keep that thing around.
Didn't this happen before when you picked up something? You suddenly stopped talking. This is feeling familiar
Obviously the chest is trapped. It has multiple effects. If you were paralyzed and he's gone mute.
But you didn't
I
know he
don't
was
know if I would do-
paralyzed
now. Oh, my bad.
because he was in the hallway.
No, I said I was paralyzed.
Oh, did you? Okay, sorry.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of, I'm gonna grab it. I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm gonna try one more thing. It's gonna go. I'm gonna move it east.
Oh, hold up. Oh, oh. Okay, never mind.
Okay, so I'll move it east, north, west, north, south, and east.
So you move the rod on the box, and the snake begins retracting, and it goes further than the time before and continues back. And as it reaches the end of the hinge, you see it kind of fold up and hiss at you like a real snake as it lays itself across the hinge, and you can now open the box.
I'll open it.
Inside the box, you see a padded, kind of a velvet material that's red, and resting inside this box, you see a section of a piece of a sword.
I'm gonna pull up like, hey, I think we've been looking for this.
What
Looks
else?
familiar.
Let me see that.
I'll hand it to Grayson.
I want to examine it against the other pieces that we have.
Scroll up for that. Yeah, you have that. Well, you have all the pieces now.
No, I have
You have the
the
grip.
shard grip, the blade grip, the counterweight, and then Scar has a piece. I can't remember what piece that was.
He has the left blade guard. You notice that this fits neatly into the right blade guard, the piece that's there. It's a perfect matchup for the lower section of the sword.
Okay. Keep that next to me. We will definitely need to speak to him about this.
Is there anything else in that little box?
Nothing else.
You said this is the right blade guard?
This is the lower
Sorry.
lower blade piece, right above the hilt.
Nice. Nice.
In the distance, you hear a door open, close, and another door open and close. Just doors opening, closing.
This might help us with the sword, but it doesn't help us with trying to find more information like we've been looking for.
No, but having this. Oh, man. That means we only need 2 more pieces. And to think this was just shoved randomly in a storage area in a back corner of a library.
So Carrageenan probably didn't know what he had.
No, and we're still missing. Technically, we're still missing the piece that the magistrate had. We have no idea. I would hate that it was destroyed in that orc stronghold. We have no way of knowing. We just know he had it, and when we found him again, he was an orc's meal.
Well, it might not have traveled down there with him.
Yes. By going back to Cape's vassal to search, we have no idea where he would have been keeping it.
Curious to find out how he came across this.
Like I said, probably just something he randomly got from somebody. So they sent it up knowing he probably wouldn't look at it and thought it might be safe.
Yeah,
Or they're
Good.
or they're just trying to spread all the pieces as far apart as they could.
Remind me, did we ever find out why it was broken?
You did.
Could we have a
Dude, we've
D&D
had-
reminder?
You've had so many lore dumps. Trying to remember all this shit is ridiculous.
This one was pretty early, but it was broken because the entire island at the time, many years ago, believed that no one should have a sword of that power.
Oh boy. My eyes. I need a break. Kind of stuff I've read. Has anything come up that we haven't already known or
I mean, there's a lot that you haven't known. It's just a lot of history and things like that.
I put the sword pieces back in my bag and I pick up the one that was in the chest and I start heading to the study.
Bad.
Oh. Try to be
I
good.
think a dog made a mistake.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
there's shelves and stuff,
I'm aware.
right?
I'm hungry.
Biddle, your
Blaylock,
microphone's
you're not
on.
muted. Thank you. Anyways,
Whew.
Biddlelock has gone mad looking at the books.
so Grayson, what were you doing, by the way? You took the blade piece. Did you put it back in the box, or?
No, I put everything, all the pieces that we've had, I put back in my bag, and I took the piece that was in the box, and I'm heading towards the study.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at Zormir to see if I can hear him talking yet.
No. He's talking. There's just nothing coming out.
I'm sure it'll fade, just like what happened to me did.
Blaylock, what do you want to do?
Getting very frustrated at these books. So many books, so little time. I'm hungry. Goodness, I think I need to stop and take some time to eat. I think I will. I'm gonna take a few minutes maybe rest. How long we've been doing this for? Several hours.
A couple hours now, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go grab a bite, wander around a little bit, maybe check out the forge, grab some food.
Arlo, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna look around for Grayson. Did he leave?
He's leaving.
It's like, Grayson, got a minute?
Yeah.
Come here. You wanted me to let you know if I found something with all the stuff in these Zormir was picking up, and since he can't talk, this would probably be a good time to let you know. See a few things in here that might be of interest to the party. So, show him the large gauntlets.
I will cast detect magic.
Oh boy. Give me 1 second.
The whole room lights up.
You go blind by so much blue light.
Yeah, detect magic. Yeah, in that room, everything in a crate and a chest lights up. If the lid is slid back on it, you can see the glow.
I will clear some room off the table and start lining stuff up.
Yeah. I think we need to take some serious look at some of the stuff that I think it could very well be beneficial to the party. I'll help him pick that stuff up and put it on the table.
I don't know what it does. Detect magic only lets me see that it's magical.
It's magical.
It's
Yep.
not an identifier.
Nope.
So the gauntlets I'll put up there. Does the black dragon
Yep.
chainmail?
But,
Put
All
that
of it
up there.
glows. Anything you see in a box
The
or
sword,
chest glows. Yep.
the long sword, the rapier,
the gem of seeing,
and
the shackles.
Do any of the books glow?
None of the books glow. They're just books.
Darn.
well, when we get a minute, Blaylock is done with what he's doing.
He's wandering out of the
He
room,
can
like
identify things.
book in hand. He's reading it, kind of mumbling to himself as he moves down the hallway.
Now, we're here for some time. It doesn't have to be right now. We have him identify some of these things. I don't wear armor myself, but who knows? Some of these might be useful.
Agree?
Uh,
I agree.
I take it I can read, well, since I can
Yeah.
read Dwarvish, I know what they're all called as
Yep.
well.
You can see the names.
The long sword, the sunflame, or what was the sun sword or
The sunblade. Yep.
sunblade? That seems like a useful item, especially in all the darkness we've been finding ourselves in. Gauntlets of ogre power. Does any of that ring a bell? Like, would I have known? Would there have been anything in my family's library on some of this stuff that I might just have brief, like a history check or something?
Not so much.
Okay.
You might have heard of some of these, but not specifics of what they do.
I mean, if it says ogre power, we got to figure that's gonna add to a
Let's say somebody's
power.
strength.
Forgive me. I gotta retcon this a little bit.
Blaylock had some on.
The sword is just a hilt.
the sword piece.
The piece
Yep.
that was in the box.
Nope. The sunblade was just a hilt.
Oh, so it's not a full sword then.
Nope.
Oh,
But the hilt glows.
Absolutely.
It's a lightsaber. Believe me, I read Curse of Strahd. I know what it does.
I know.
Anyway,
We'll have to get Blaylock
no,
to
so
Could that be
Not-
the hilt for the sword? But the one we're trying to find the pieces for?
no, we've got that.
Hmm.
Not knowing that there was a piece of the sword in that chest, I want to kind of think back. And does the name Lucinda ring any bells in my history, family history?
It does not.
Okay. Well, did the black? I don't think we named. Did we read the name of the black dragon scale? Was there a tag on it?
Just Black Dragon scale. That scale mail. Black Dragon scale mail.
Yes, I believe that Blaylock is the only one that would be able to identify any of these. So I would suggest that when he comes back, we have him take a look.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be a while. His big noses and all those books.
Well, we found quite a bit of history. Some of the books he has been gathering, but nothing's really answering any questions that we've found ourselves with. This
Basically, back
island
to
definitely
square
has a lot of history to it. Which is odd since most people we've ran across don't know much more.
I still just think this is just too easy. Him just letting us have all this information, and then he's going to charge us for it.
Well, it
I-
may be he charges us for the items, the books themselves, not going through. I mean, really, it's not like he gave us books. We've had to do our own digging. It'd be one thing if he had a whole section of
He told us exactly what books to look into.
something like that, yes. But the fact is, he doesn't even know what half the stuff he even owns is. Or he's playing it off like he doesn't. And
Well, if he didn't,
Yeah.
he's going to know what a lot of this stuff is now. I'm look at the constructs crawling
I
around
was
the
gonna
walls.
say, and it's not like he hasn't been having his little contraptions spying on us for the last several hours.
Maybe
But again,
I just
this
kind of
is-
whispered to Grayson. Maybe we need to send Zormir into the reliquary. See what's in there.
And you hear him say, "That's what I've been saying." Oh, hey.
Oh, you can talk again.
Oh, dang, that was
Sorry
short.
about that, Z. I didn't know that was going to happen.
I think we shouldn't talk about it here.
Yeah.
I
Probably
don't
shouldn't talk
like
about
the
it
idea.
anywhere. Well,
Let me
I know
go
one thing.
speak to our host about this sword piece. I'll return.
All right. So while you're doing that, Blaylock, where are you headed? You weren't part of all that.
Nope. No, nothing of anything that doesn't involve a book. Yep.
So where were you headed? North, south?
I was heading out. I'm going to look for any of the servants that are around to say I would like to have some food. Where can I go to eat?
Okay, which way are you going to do so?
I'm going to go north towards the resting chambers.
Are you going into the resting chambers?
I will go into the resting chambers.
Okay. So you walk down to a medium-sized room that seems to open up as a place for guests to sleep. Several beds line the walls, and the air is fresh here with a sense of lavender and roses that seem to be generated by a small device in the center of the room that every so often releases a puff of smoke, but not enough to make the room smoky, just poof, and aerates the room. It's noticeably cooler in this room, but it's dry. It's not wet or dank like a cave.
Hmm.
The beds are constructed of a metal frame and have what appears to be suitable bedding covering them. The bedding looks soft and is covered with a fluffy red comforter and pillows. And at the foot of each bed is a rectangular device with slats that face the head of the bed. A small lever rests on the left side of the device, and 4 posts of the bed rise up from each corner and make a metal mesh-like canopy over the bed. Near the leftmost bed pillar is another small lever that's in the up position, and the chamber is lit by an intricate wall sconces while the ceiling rises up into a dome shape with a grate in the ceiling. In the room itself, you just hear a soft ticking sound that seems to echo through the walls.
This is very relaxing. I could easily go to sleep right now. I'm gonna come over there and just play with one of the levers on the bed.
Which one?
The one at the foot of the bed.
Okay. You pull the lever down forward, and you hear and you see a slight red glow as heat begins to blow forward toward the head of the bed.
That may suit some. I'm gonna turn that off, and there was one that was already up. I'm gonna toggle that little lever.
Okay, so as you turn the small box off, it calms down, and you walk to the side of the bed and pull that. As you pull it down, immediately everything is pitch black. Your hand is still on the lever, but everything around you is dark. No light is creeping in at all.
So all I see is just the light coming from the grate
You see no light.
up top, like
Nothing. Nothing. It is absolute darkness.
Very clever. I'm gonna with my hand on the lever, I'm going to take a step back until I can begin to see again. I'm gonna keep doing that.
You step back as far as you can, and you have your arm outstretched onto the lever,
Yep.
and eventually your head just kind of pulls out of this darkness, and you again see the room and the other beds.
Genius. This is perfect. I'm gonna flick. I'm gonna take the lever that I still have like a finger on, and I'm gonna work my way towards it, and then turn it back off.
Okay, you flick the lever up, and as you do, you hear, and like a black smoke, it just poofs out of existence, and again you see the bed.
Feeling this tickling my funny bone. I'm gonna bring out Leo, and then I'm just going to immediately turn out the lights.
You're gonna pull that lever again?
I'm gonna pull the lever again.
Okay, as you pull it down, Leo disappears. You see nothing.
Do I hear him?
Oh, of course.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you're doing here, but, I don't know where you went.
I really want to simulate an orc right now, but that's not in Blaylight's character. This is fascinating, Leo. Imagine this in every bed: the ability to just turn off the lights local to your bed. I guess not so good if you were trying to protect yourself. That is. I'm gonna flick the lights back on.
Okay. As you raise the lever again,
Mhm.
again the darkness dissipates.
This is most interesting, Leo, but I need food. You may not require it, but I certainly do. The information that we've gathered so far, there's so much to do, Leo friend Danikan.
Not long after you finish saying that, you hear footsteps. Sounds like 4 footsteps, and you look over toward the doorway of the room, and a mechanical construct creature with 4 spider-like legs comes walking in, holding a tray with various meats, cheeses, and fruits, and a pitcher
Oh,
rests in
how
the middle, and it just holds
you
it out in
knew?
front of it.
Yes, I'll take the tray.
It lowers its hand, turns around, out of the room.
Okay. And I'll just sit down on the ground, put the tray in front of me, and just begin eating and thinking on the everything that I've discovered so far, the potential for discovery from the books that have been sorted.
Okay. While you do that, Grayson, you were heading down the hallway.
Yeah, I'm heading to the study.
You go to walk into the study and you notice that the door's not opening. You kind of putting 2 and 2 together, you assume that the noises you heard later was Karajinin walking out of the study and going into the reliquary.
I can't find. I'm studying the door.
To the study?
Yes.
There's 2 doors there, one to the east, and then there's the one there. It's just a standard metal door. It's pretty sturdy, but
Can I open it?
seems to be locked when you try to open it.
He did say that he was going to be turning it early.
To the east, you see the door to the reliquary. It's an ornate metal door, and it rests flush against the cold stone of the workshop. Imprinted on its face are several stairs at the top, and as you look at the door, you can see an image of a construct kneeling on one knee, helping a human or humanoid of some sort off the ground. Below the ground that they stand on in the image, you see tunnels spreading out like roots. It's quite beautiful handiwork, considering the hard mechanical steampunk that you've experienced here so far. And etched above the door is a sign that simply reads Reliquary.
Well, I guess it can wait. I don't need to disturb it just yet. I'll make my way back to the library.
All right. While you're heading back, Galtier, Arlo, and Zoramir, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try to find one of the books in the pile of books that Blaylock was separating, and see if any of them, just by reading the back, I think they would be of help for me to look into, or if they're gonna be above my knowledge.
Most of them look like historical documents, books, histories, those kind of things. So you're looking at those, looking for those. Arlo, what are you doing?
We'll pick this book up. He said something about reading this book of combat. So I'm just gonna pick it up, kind of thumb through it, see if there's anything that sticks out to me.
It looks like different forms of fighting. Nothing that stuff you don't particularly already know or care to learn.
How's the clothes it put on there? I'm like, oh man, I don't like reading. What time is it? Can does my body tell? Can we kind of tell what?
There's a feat for that.
Is it internal clock?
It's aware or something like that.
Yeah, it's called I Want to Waste a Feetitis.
I'm just gonna go sit over here in a corner until I'm needed to do something. Just kind of concentrate. I'm gonna see if I can't talk to the voice in my head.
Okay. What do you say?
Well, I haven't heard from you for a while. Are you still there?
Nothing
Kind of
responds.
thinking and seeing.
After a few moments, Grayson walks into the room.
Seems our host is taken to his chamber for the evening. I suggest we probably need to do the same. I still say we need to set up a watch. But it has been a long day of research. We need to find Blaylock.
I believe
See.
Blaylock went to the the sleeping quarters.
Do we know that?
He went out and about with a book, muttering to himself.
Yeah.
Yep.
He went
Okay, so
that
I thought you
way.
said you were gonna go find a place to rest.
Eat.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's only two other places. The forward room and the...
The sleeping room?
Yeah.
Technically, there's another place.
Resting chambers. Oh, you mean the collection that we walked past? Or the study chambers?
Well, some of us here might be able to get into places. Maybe.
Oh, you mean like the place that our host asked us not to go into and is probably sleeping in right now?
Well, if we're really quiet.
That would be a no, Zolamir. At least not right now. We're still getting the lay of the land. I do not think that we're going to find everything that we need within one day of being here.
Not having a full day, only a couple hours really. I don't think rest would be a bad idea.
I guess I could sleep.
Wow, Z, your voice changed from how it normally was.
Yep.
Yes, somebody will need to keep an eye on that one.
Maybe we should have somebody keep watch tonight. We should, just in
Oh,
case.
yes, I suggest that we will have a watch as long as we're down here.
I think we only need one person watching, with there being one door.
We're also watching one person.
That's true.
You,
I can
set up
take
a
first
watch to watch
watch.
Stormir.
Can we try those shackles on him real quick? Really making us a red room.
There's no trust. We've already seen him just throw shit around.
Once
And
we
yes,
get
I'm
in,
talking like he's not in the room. Nothing new there.
well, once we all go into retire to the resting chamber, I'll take first watch. I'll just put my back up against the door.
Okay.
Is it okay?
You are all heading down to the resting chamber.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You walk in and you see Blaylock sitting there, kind of
Bonk,
hunched over
bonk,
something,
bonk.
and you hear munching sounds. And as you walk in, he kind of just turns his head around, cheeks full of food.
There's still some left here if you wish for some. I'm sure another servant will come around. It's quite delicious. Some of the best I've had in a while. Where did they get it from?
Just be careful, Blaylock.
Hmm.
Don't let your admiration for this creature blind you to the fact that we're finding out quite a bit. He has access to items, which, by the way, we would like you to identify at some point. But he's been watching us for some time.
We are strangers to him. Would you? You are a very
Breakfast.
suspicious person. Wouldn't you set watch on mysterious people
I
coming
would not have
into?
invited strangers into my home.
True. Maybe he's
I'm
just.
just saying, it's. We found another piece of the shard.
What? And I'll look up to that mouthful of cheese. Whoop.
Yes, it was just in a box in the corner of his library.
In a box? What do you mean, in a box?
I take the shard. I pantomime a box. It was in a box.
You want to know what else is in a box?
No.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if he quite knows what he has. And that's very dangerous for somebody to just have these things laying around.
I wonder if he knew he had it and that was his own protection against it.
Well,
It could be that box was rigged with traps.
but I don't know. It seems like that box was constructed just for that piece. I'm just saying, we need to be very mindful of what we say and what we do down here. His little contraptions are all over the place. He has eyes everywhere.
So we should be forthright in everything we've discovered. Now look over at Zoramir. Very forthright.
What?
How has everything been? Have you discovered anything? Besides, maybe, in Piece of the Edge of Darkness. Anything else?
Well, in the reading that I've done so far, there's been a lot of mention of just history, stuff that we knew, some stuff we didn't. Nothing that has popped out as useful. But there is a lot of reading left to do, and with you and I being the only two reading, it's going to take us some time.
Yes.
But I went to go talk to our host in the study room, and I find it very odd that the only room that he told us not to go in was his study, or was his room, but the study is locked up tight, as if he doesn't want us in there.
Well, this being his home, there are 2 rooms he does not want us in. And I'll look over at Zoramir. 2 rooms. And one being the reliquary, and the other being the study.
Yes, but he didn't say anything about us not going into the study.
Wait, where is the study? Oh, there. Oh, there it is. It's a big, giant room right at the center.
Yeah, it's straight north. Can't miss it on the map.
Yeah, there's a big, giant room there.
He also said not to go into the forge room, but didn't really specify that we couldn't go in.
No, he
He said
didn't
there'd
say
be
anything
noth-
about the forge room.
I thought he
No.
said there was nothing in there that we would need to know or see or something like that.
Nope.
No.
The only room he told us not to go into was his room.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's not used to having people around and he just locked it by accident.
Hmm.
Why would he lock it if he was here by himself?
Well,
Exactly is what I'm saying. I
Oh,
still
I'm not
have a
arguing
bad
the
feeling
fact.
about this place.
could we merely just ask him in the morning? I mean,
Well, that's why we're here. We're going to take our rest and set up a watch. Not only for our own safety, but for wandering and prying eyes. As I look at Zoramir.
can you control yourself, Zoramir?
Blaylock, you
I'll
know
take the first watch if you want.
No,
Hmm.
no, we got it. We're good.
Hmm.
So there
Well.
we have it. We'll get some food, get some rest. Be back at it in another 8 hours or so.
I'm gonna
Unless
go back
anybody else
over.
has some.
I'm gonna go back over to that bed that I was fiddling around with the levers,
Okay.
and just going to go in there. These levers here are for your comfort. This one will give you total darkness, and this one is it appears to be heat to comfort you while you rest.
Zoramir
Well-
walks over to the box at the end of the bed and just off, on, off, on.
It's from the dark side, there is.
Yes, just like that, Zoramir.
Now
And
it's hot. Now it's not. Now it's hot.
You're gonna break it.
okay.
A few moments later, in comes a four-legged, spider-like construct carrying a tray of food to Grayson.
It's obvious that he listens and hears everything that we say. Since
Yes.
I didn't technically ask for the food, I just said I'd take the platter.
You're not gonna just knock it like the pie.
Turns around, out of the room.
You need to be
Stuff.
very careful.
It is
The
possible
food.
he just told the constructs to bring food to anybody who comes in the room.
Where's ours?
It's one construct.
I'm not as nearly as suspicious as Grayson, but even I would keep some sort of watch, whether audibly or visually, on people in my house. Just I would just be aware that we are more than likely monitored most of the time, if not all the time. Do I know if Warforged sleep?
He said he did.
He said he did not. Oh, that's right. Okay. Yes, he is likely watching us now.
I'll take the first watch.
I said I would take it. It's no problem.
No.
Mhm.
You need your sleep, Z. You need the rest. We're gonna need you tomorrow because we got a lot of work for you to do tomorrow. You need to be well rested.
All right. He jumps up on one of the bed. Oh, this is soft.
Take my stuff and I'll go close the door and sit in front of the door.
Anyone doing anything?
I'm gonna say
Nice.
very, very quietly, and that just so that nobody's around, and I'm gonna say, Karjinen, if possible, you may want to constrain old Zoramir politely, of course, and just saying so, just under my breath. You know, it might be just a mumbling. I just want to see if he is listening.
Okay.
Zormir is just suddenly gonna get straps on him on the bed. It's gonna go dark.
Right, restraining bolts. I'm going to sit, and while eating, I will work on my third tier of sharpening.
Okay.
Is a 22.
That is a success. Galtier, are you
I
doing
want to
anything?
tinker with the infuser.
Okay.
I think I was trying to add another vial to it still,
You were.
and dexterity.
Dexterity. Yep.
9.
That is failure.
I'm never gonna get anywhere on this thing.
Blaylock?
Seeing as I can no longer work on my staff until I find some gems,
That's not
I'm
true.
just going to... Wait, no, that's all I can do. Just gems is all I have left.
Nope, you have expanded battery cell.
I thought that was already done.
Nope, that was enhanced battery.
I'm going to work on my expanded battery cell.
You also have prong extension and now you have the length approximation supplement eradication rod.
Jesus.
This must be in the update that's not in my character sheet yet.
None of this would be in the. I don't put the stuff that you can work on in there. I guess
Oh,
I
okay.
could.
No,
If
no,
you
that's
write
fine.
that
Maybe offline I'll get that and I'll put that in my notes because I didn't have that. So I'm going to work on the penile enhancement or whatever that was.
The length approximation
extended.
supplement eradication rod.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Gosh. Okay. I'm going to work on that, and in a flash of genius from all that's around me, I'm feeling quite inspired. And that's intelligence. Very inspired. Look how inspired I feel. So 26.
That is a success.
Okay.
And Arlo.
I am going to concentrate on my sword. Try to become one with it.
So what are you doing? You're meditating?
Yes.
Okay.
Got a
So-
13.
That is, you just can't seem to focus. You've had so many distractions, it's very difficult.
Of course.
All right. So anything else? All right. Everyone rests. Arlo, roll up a perception check.
11.
It's really hard to sit here and keep an eye out because the room is quite comfortable to you, and just the drone of tick, tick, tick. You got to kind of catch yourself from nodding off a couple times before you feel enough time has passed and you wake up whoever's next.
Go tier.
Okay.
Roll a perception.
Ten.
You as well struggle. After waking up, you want to go back to sleep. And toward the end of your watch, you hear a door click and open, close, another door click and open and close. Your watch is ended.
I look up Grayson like he's up and moving now. If you wanted to go talk to him.
From the far side of the room, you hear, "Ah, that was pretty great. I'm rested."
Was just magically a rapier in his hands.
No.
Stole in his sleep.
So
Wake up Blaylock and Arlo.
Zormir hops down. He's just standing there, rocking back and forth on his heels.
You ready to go read some more books, Blaylock?
That is certainly worthwhile. Yes. There's much more to be sorted and read. Yes,
But
would you care to join me?
Remember to identify some of those items.
Blaylock, if you could imbue your fancy hat again with the identify magic, I can identify those items while you are reading. Since reading is not my strong suit.
I feel it rude to go and do so without asking permission. Let me go seek out Karzinen first. And then, Arlo, would you care to join me?
Sure. I will go.
I'm gonna head over there to the study and see if the door is open.
Is that pretty much where everyone's going?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Go.
Alright.
Go. Go.
Alright, so you all leave your room and turn north toward the study. What do you want to do?
Knock
Is the
on the door.
open? Yeah, is the door open or is it shut?
Which way the hinge is facing?
The door is slightly open.
Is it like a door or is it like stone?
No, it's a metal door.
Oh, I'm just gonna knock. Knock, knock.
You knock. As you knock, it opens up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
You
Any
don't get a
response?
response or anything.
Okay, I'll push the door open and look inside.
Okay. You see a large chamber, the ceiling stretching high into a dome from where you're at.
You're gonna make me walk in. Karzinen, are you in there? We would like to talk to you.
You can see him in the far distance, kind of raised up a bit on a dais of some sort, walking back and forth and doing things.
No response.
No
Oh,
response.
for the love of... And I push the door open and walk in.
I'm just looking at him. I'm looking at Karzine. I'm like, fine. And I'll follow behind Grayson.
Okay.
There's propriety. We are a guest in his home.
The ceilings stretch high. They're huge. Pipes wrap around the outside walls, and occasionally you hear the hiss as they release steam, making it slightly more humid here than the rest of the workshop, and definitely warmer than the room you just came from. You can hear the slight ticking of gears turning and spinning, and it just seems to add a calming pulse of sound into the room. The floor is made from fine stone craftsmanship, and a pretty well-worn path leads to a raised dais where there's tables and tools scattered about. Karajin is ignoring you as he steps back and forth between the tables, examining many small features and fine detail. Occasionally, plumes of smoke burst from the tables where he works, and you can see him scribble details into a journal. You walk farther into the room toward him, and along the sides of the room rest large, two-legged machines resting in a dormant state.
Do these look familiar?
You recognize these as the machines you ran into in the Orc underground bunker.
I knew it. Son of a...
Looking through the study, you quickly count about 20 of them, while a much larger one rests behind Karajin and on the dais.
That sounds good.
You continue walking toward him. What do you want to do?
Throw something like that at us. These are some interesting constructs.
Yes, they unfortunately are all too familiar.
I didn't say that, Blaylock.
I'm gonna go over there and study them.
Okay. You look at them, and they're in pristine detail. They haven't been used. It doesn't look like, but they are definitely what you have experienced before.
Well, we also knew that they were suits of armor, pretty much.
Yep.
There was something inside operating them. Hopefully, these are empty.
Can we see if if they're occupied or not? I'm assuming
There
they're
is
not.
nobody in them at the
Okay.
At the moment. Hang on
Hey,
here.
You always got to keep those doors open, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeanette,
Mm-hmm.
if you have a moment.
Excuse me. I didn't hear you come in. Come
We
inside.
did knock.
Yes, I get buried in my work. I'm sure you understand how important my work is, and you seem to be one of study.
Is your work designing these?
These are some of my
Machines of
finer
war.
creations. Yes, my latest contract.
You sell these?
Yes, I'm contracted to complete them and send them off for whatever use they may have.
They look like what was described at what destroyed Cape's Vassal.
That might be the case.
You don't have any feelings on that?
I am paid to create, so I create. As I have
Must be
for
nice.
a millennia.
Do you know what all is in your library?
I know some things.
You don't have personal inventory log.
Oh, I have them all
People just send
cataloged.
you stuff.
I am sent things, yes. They arrive in Svarkat. I don't spend time seeing what they are. I take them to my study because I have contracts to fulfill.
Are you aware of the history of the Edge of Darkness?
Of course. I was around when it was made.
Really? So you know my ancestor that carried it?
Your ancestors, of course. The Harker name has been around for generations here and the Sword Coast.
Well, can you tell me how you came into the possession of this? And I pull out the sword piece.
It was sent to me, as all those items were.
Do you know by whom?
I am sent the items. I just keep them among my possessions. I believe they come somewhere from the west.
Well, I am trying to reforge that sword.
Yes? So you're interested in that piece? I can definitely part with it.
Well, it is family heirloom.
And it does have value.
Oh, I believe it does. It was wrongfully taken from my family.
That might be, but I think all the things in my library were probably wrongfully taken at one point or another.
And what might it take to get this piece back?
A piece so valuable, family heirloom. Surely you could find it in your heart to pay the simple fee of 200 platinum pieces. Did you find anything else that interests you?
There were a couple items in some crates.
Minotaur, I saw you admiring my handiwork. Is there anything I can do for you as well?
I'm have more of a personal question for you.
Ah, of course.
Where were you created?
Created? Well, Uth Melanon, of course. It's been quite some time, though.
Not so. Your work is well known around the continent here. Island? Is this an island? Would this be an island or a continent? Feels like a continent when you're trekking across it.
It's an island, but it's a big island.
It's a big island. When did you do away with your former name
My
and
former
take
name.
on? Were you not once called Craft?
Ah, that is a name I haven't heard in quite some time, but yes. It came with its notoriety, caused many problems, so it was easy to change it into something more palatable for the common man. Somewhere I can
What?
choose and make a solitary life for myself, amass my wealth, and move on to the next place.
I worry. The work that you've done so far will cause quite the devastation.
It's not of my concern. I was contracted to
Is
build.
it?
I build.
What is it that you do with all this money? What do
What
you
is it?
need money for?
When you're one that's been around as long as I have, it's nice to live comfortably. Have many more years I could live. There's a point I will go as far as I can and not work for anyone again. Rest, relax, and live on my wealth. Be it my own personal dragon's hoard.
And when is enough? Enough, Craft. You've been doing this for, what, centuries?
Or more.
Your work is fantastic.
Thank you. I've perfected it over many years.
I can tell.
And what has Roman Koth requested of you?
Roman Karth directly? I know him, of course. I watched him grow as a child.
Are you saying you are not working for him now?
I work for who's contracted. My contracts are paid by the Order through a wealthy contact from Castle Verminia.
All roads lead to Castle Verminion, Grayson.
That doesn't surprise me one bit.
Hmm.
Greed, power.
Grayson, shut off your camera for a second.
Oh, Grayson.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, go ahead and shut off your camera for a minute. Someone got out of order. There we go. Yep, you're good.
Now it's Galtier.
Mine's off.
Is Zoramir gonna keep like creeping up the ranks?
Galtier.
Mine's on.
Now Grayson. We're good.
There we go.
Okay. Sorry. What was the that you asked?
Oh, I asked what he. Oh, no. You said something. I was.
Well, you said Roman Karth. Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw him as a baby.
And
Yes.
he's got a very powerful contact in
Castle Verminia. Yeah. Ugh. Karzinin. I am torn.
Don't be torn.
You do realize we have to kill you now. I didn't say that.
No, gosh. I was like, oh, we all's gonna die.
Funny
Oh,
constructs
gosh.
Hey,
come alive.
All the constructs come alive and just one big neutron blast right in the center of the room. God. Ah.
I am to understand.
Oh.
You are not happy about what you found out today.
no. It seems stories have it that they want you to kill all the halflings inside us point.
I wouldn't kill the halflings in Cider Point. They don't bother me, though it's not a place I would go.
Oh, a contract's a contract. Correct?
I wasn't contracted to kill. If I was contracted to kill, I wouldn't have a problem. It wouldn't be the first time I took a contract to harm, as I would say you have taken them before as well.
True. But my goal is to stop evil. not help it.
But evil is just a state of mind.
That is what I would expect from a construct to say.
To the worm, a bird is evil. But is a bird evil? The important thing is to never be the worm.
Very pragmatic of you. Just survival. Well, I must think on this. I do appreciate your hospitality, but please consider the work that you're doing, the lives that have been lost because of it. I'm gonna hang my head.
Does the blacksmith concern
just-
himself over the work of the blade he has forged? Or does he collect the money and continue on? What I have done is no different.
Oh, Karzinin, these are lives, not tools.
And how many lives has the sword taken? How many
Will not.
lives have a spellbook taken to those that are inclined to the mystical arts? I remember the shattering. How many lives were lost there? My work is no different.
You are going to contribute to another shattering.
Hopefully, by that point, I've moved on.
It's obvious we're not getting anywhere.
If you would like to buy out my contract, I'm more than happy to stop my work here, but I don't believe it's a price you would pay.
What is that price?
I'm still owed 1,200
What does it
platinum
cost?
pieces on this order.
And how much for the next one? What if they just offer more?
Easily another 2,000, as per the standard that it's been.
We must
Aye.
discuss this.
I
I
hope you do
believe
not
it's
take
time for us to...
insult to this. Call me Karajinin, call me Kraft. I answer to either. But you've seen my work. If this does not settle well with you, we can settle up any debts you may have, and I'll take you back to Svarkat and continue my business.
If you don't mind, we need to have a discussion amongst ourselves.
As you will. I have work to do.
Yes, I see.
And he turns back to the machine that rests behind him and begins working again.
turn to the group. I give him just a dead look and start walking back out.
Zoramir follows.
I'll follow.
Blaylock, let's go.
I'm gonna look back at Karzina and look at this work. I'm gonna turn around and follow.
You see him catch your look out of the corner of his own eye, and he turns back to working.
We're going back to the library, to the sleeping quarters.
We notice anything technically watching us in the sleeping quarters?
No.
I mean, it's very obvious what we saw in the library. Nothing like that in the sleeping
Nothing
quarters.
that obvious. Nope.
Yeah, I'll head into the sleeping quarters. Seems like we have a real problem, gentlemen.
That be so. I know our normal solution that would be just to attack and try to kill him, but we're literally in his domain, and I don't think that's a good idea.
I have seen the good that he can do. Those townspeople, they didn't. There was no gain. There was nothing. They gave him nothing. And he helped them.
Help me
Gave them
explain.
limbs, gave them a life again. But were these his slaves that have been working for him?
It could be.
The way you look at it, there's nothing much we can do here. I'm pretty sure he's listening to us now.
I have no doubt. But his ego, the whole matter of fact, I'll do what I want. I've been alive this long and no one has stopped me. We already know that he has created things that have destroyed your Cape's vessel. We've overheard that the Order is using him for other mischievous, evil things. I just don't see how we can walk away.
We need to do it. If we're going to do something, we need to do it on our terms, in our territory. We don't know anything about this down here.
We don't have any territory.
Anything outside of here. Who knows how many constructs he's got? How many of those metal things up in the wall that can come and attack us? I'm all for ridding him of the evil, but I just think we're on the wrong turf right now. He's got the upper hand.
I have to agree with Arlo. Personally, I prefer not to have to fight him.
Especially after what we seen when we were in Nine Hells.
We had already done most of the work.
Hmm.
You're very quiet, Blaylock.
He is quiet because he has gotten mad with anger.
That's it. Kick everybody out of your house.
Hey, there's a son in the background.
And a dog. And the wife. And another kid.
I know we can't talk reason with him because he's just in it for the money.
Obviously, even if we paid out his contract, we don't have that kind of resources to keep doing so.
Nope.
He invited us here. I told him why we were doing what we were doing. It's always been about the money, but he never told us the price. He has helped that town, maybe for selfish purposes. I cannot say this pure form of pragmatism. Why did he help us in that? Do I know that was Avernus? Did somebody actually say that?
I did.
Okay. Yeah. In Avernus. Why did he help us there? Other than
He definitely could have just leave us to die in that.
No, he couldn't. It was a gateway from the Nine Hells into his mind.
yes, it was. He was stopping whatever he was doing here in the mine.
Whether we were there or not, he would have had to have dealt with that situation.
Yes.
I deal with it when we were the ones there.
Hmm. What, Grayson? What do you do with someone with? It's just self-focused motives. He is here just for the highest bidder. Do we just continue to pay him and stop them, and then he just goes about his way and finds another means of amassing money to whoever the highest bidder is?
This
Do we
isn't a contract. We could pay this contract. We do have the goal to stop what he's doing currently. But again,
Just
we're
take it
also
elsewhere.
dealing with somebody in high power at the castle who has a hell of a lot more money than we do.
If at least maybe if we paid him to stop him for a bit, then we go to Castle Verminia and what do we stop whoever this person is in Castle Verminia?
Yes.
Pretty sure he won't tell us who his contact is.
Doubt he would either, because that's his paycheck.
Income. That think if it's all about him. It's Karzinin. What does Karzinin gain? He would gain nothing from telling us about his buyer, but he does gain if we pay him, and then the buyer comes back and pays him again.
Correct. On a project he's already working on.
Yes.
Working on? Hell, he's probably almost done with that.
I believe that would be double dipping.
What does that matter to someone with the motives that he has?
My question is, what does he have to gain from everybody on this island dying?
Maybe that's the peace that he's wanted.
Well, you
mean,
know that I can't stand
he's-
for that.
He's been open about all of his motives thus far. It
Because he
just
feels that we couldn't do anything to stop him.
I think
That
that's
is the dilemma.
why he told us, because he knows we can't stop him.
I just believe that he's been untouchable for so long that he feels that he is untouchable.
he
That no one can come across that
If
would have
we're-
any effect.
if we are a threat to his plan, he will end us. He's brought us into his nest. He's listening to us right now.
Do you not think that the Order has not spoken of us yet? You could
Of
just
course.
be studying us to find out what we actually know.
What can I gain from them being here?
If we're here, we're not meddling in other things.
Are we here? So Grayson, we've brought all of the shards here.
All but the one.
Yes.
But enough.
I think
And now that we know who he actually is, do you really believe that he would just walk us back to his little town?
no, not at all. If that's his motives.
He could have informed them at any time that we are here.
Who's to say he hasn't? Now I sound like you, Grayson.
These are important things to think about. I could destroy this bag right here, right now, and the pieces would be lost. They may think they have the advantage on us. I'm just foolhardy enough to try something different.
Why would they need to reforge the shards?
The sword itself has no master.
Hmm.
It can be wielded by forces of good or forces of evil.
Hmm.
You just don't want it in the forces of evil.
He has it. Ain't no telling what it's going to take to stop him.
So
What if-
here we are.
I'm certain that our traditional way of solving these problems will not work at this point.
And I am not seeing any other options.
What if he brought us here to get our help to stop, but he can't show that he's trying to get out of it from the Order?
That is a degree of optimism that may cause Grayson to catch on fire.
I mean,
It's like saying that the White Dragon could have been talked away from helping the Order.
he didn't have to. He definitely didn't have to have the sword piece just there easily for us to be able to get to.
Well, you've already
Well,
said it yourself.
These
The trap
questions,
went off twice.
these questions are better done in front of him because he can hear us now.
I don't think somebody of his caliber would have a hard time with a puzzle box with the answer written on the back.
I'm not saying that. Who's to say this isn't the What was the piece that you guys gave to the magistrate? I don't think we actually knew at that
No,
time.
I don't think so.
They
I just
they did, but they don't remember.
well, that's the thing, because I think Scar was the one that had. Well, no, Scar was the end of that, so they had it. I just found it in the chest, so I didn't know exactly what piece it was. Do we have it? Do we have that piece?
Yeah, it was on Rash. It was on Rash. I have it in my notes.
There you go.
What did it say the piece actually was?
Nah, I don't have that. in
It's
my
the
notes.
counterweight.
Oh, I was gonna say, 'cause all we got.
Okay, that's right. That's right. We had the counterweight before we had little Goblin McGoblin pants go over there and to cause that cave in that almost took us out.
Okay, so we have that.
Yeah.
Okay, so technically
So the piece I found was
With
a whole new piece, right?
right. So with the piece that we found here, we have 5 of the 7 pieces. Scar has 1 of them, so that's 6.
Yeah, and the counterweight is the one that's MIA from the magistrate.
So we know where 6 of the pieces are. The 7th is the one we don't know.
Oh, we do know.
You have
it's in
5
Castle
pieces.
Verminia.
You have 5 pieces. Scar has 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Count that
The
one?
the remaining is in Castle
No,
Verminia.
I've got 5 on my inventory. So we've got
Yeah,
shard grip.
We know where
got the
6 are.
Yeah.
blade grip, counterweight.
No, there's only 1 grip. So you have a grip, you have a right blade guard, Scar has the left blade guard, you have the counterweight, and you now, in your possession, have the lower
Why
blade.
did I have that written down wrong then?
Inventory management.
No.
It gets lost in the mix.
Okay, so I've got the blade grip, counterweight, left blade guard is what Scar has.
Mhm.
Lower blade piece is what we found here. So what's the 5th piece?
You have the right counterweight, right blade guard, grip, and lower blade is what you have on you right now.
Right, okay, so I don't have the right counter grip written down.
Yeah, the right blade guard, and then Scar has the left blade guard.
Yeah, because in our notes, all we got down is just the number. We don't have the actual name of it. So just now.
Okay.
Well. Well, gentlemen, I think we need to go back and determine what we're going to do. This could be our last time discussing this ever.
I was wrong. We don't have enough platinum to buy out the contract.
How much we got?
In the group funds, 436. I don't know what you all have individually.
I only got. I only have 80, 84. We got any more belts of dwarven kind we can sell for a metric ton? Here, take Leo. Please take it now. No.
The only option I see is finishing him, die trying.
Oh, Grayson.
Hey, that's just me.
Grayson, you saw what he could do. That seems like a terrible idea. You saw what was in there. I remember those machines.
They hit hard and they're not fun.
They also had goblins controlling them.
Didn't
Are
they
we to
also
say
have?
that he can just operate 20 by himself?
We don't know if he has constructs that can operate them or not hiding out.
It's true.
And don't they also blow up when they take a certain amount of damage?
They do.
Hmm.
I'm
I'd
not
prefer-
saying it's the wisest choice. I just don't see him letting us leave. And I don't
Say.
see us talking him down.
I say we. What else do we have other than to do our business here and try to leave, and then see what happens? If he forces us to stay, then we fight. If he allows us to leave, then we go to Castle Verminia.
And wait for him.
Well, we find the last shard, and maybe the buyer.
Here's a thought.
Hmm.
Go into the other room, identify the items that we have found, and borrow them.
Hmm.
We
I
do.
think I agree. I think some of those could be very useful for us.
in his in his home.
I mean,
I'm
let's
just gonna-
face it.
I'm just gonna point around to all of the devices around his home.
He said they
And
were
then
for sale. Let's see what he wants for.
and then hold up my ear.
We all know he could probably kill us pretty easily in here if he wanted to. The fact that he hasn't already, I mean, I don't think he's just going to attack us now.
Well, let's just
Well,
be
there's
nice
one
and
way
ask
to
him how
test
much
that
for their
theory.
stuff.
And I walk out to the hallway and I start heading towards the exit.
Impulsive
Okay.
as ever. Grayson, and I'm gonna follow behind him. Hurry by, Grayson. Let's think about this.
Well, if you'll allow us to leave, then we should be able to leave, correct?
Yes. I guess that answers that. Okay.
Is the door shut? That was
No, the door exiting is open. It's not open all the way, but enough to let someone out without having the entire door, both doors, wide open.
I'm gonna stick my crowbar in the doggone base of it so it doesn't shut us in here.
Is everybody walking toward the door?
Yeah, I am. I'm following behind Grayson.
Yeah.
I'm going to be back by the sleeping quarters listening to see if Karen
There's
Genan's
some-
going to come out or not.
So,
There's an army of contracts coming up the hallway behind him.
Grayson, you hear this in your head.
I do hope you plan on paying for that piece before you leave.
Will
No.
you let us leave?
Oh, he just heard it in his head. You did not hear that.
Oh. Wait, Grayson heard that in his head?
Yes.
Mhm. Everybody's hearing voices in their head.
All right.
I just say back. No. I'm taking what is mine.
Oh,
As you say that back, the doors close.
I turn around to Blaylock. I told you.
What did you do, Grayson?
You don't know anything other than we were walking towards the door and the door shut.
Yeah, that's being manipulative.
Yeah, that's true. Ah, well, Grayson, shall we? No, I'll look up at Karazinan, not knowing what in the world's
He's
going
not there.
on. And...
He's still in
No,
the study.
he's still in his.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he never came
he's
out.
Oh, he shut us out of
No,
the study?
in.
In the study.
He's no. You guys were about to exit the entire facility, and Kraft was like, "Yo, pay me for the sword piece."
Oh,
And
I
Grayson's
got
like,
what we're
"Fuck
doing
you, no," and he
Oh.
closed the doors.
now. Oh, I got you. Okay.
Welcome
I
to
was
D&D,
confused.
Blaylock.
Well, yeah, I mean, clearly, I thought we were going back to Karazinan. Okay, never mind.
No, I was going towards the exit because I said if he was going to let us leave, he'd
Ugh.
just let us leave.
No,
And that is why I stayed back in case he walked out.
I got it. I thought we were going towards the study again. Okay, well, well, that being said, well, apparently he's not going to let us leave. Well, you are correct then, Grayson, unfortunately. And we are likely never going to leave this place.
Can I see the door shut from where I'm at?
You heard it close.
Going to go back into the study
Okay.
and see if he's there, and it's actually looking at us, or if he's working on something, and call out to him.
Ah, did you choose to purchase any of the items that you found?
Well, my two comrades were gonna go out, and you shut the door up. I thought you said we were free to leave.
You are definitely free to leave, but you have not paid for the item that you have in your possession.
So if I pay you, will you open those doors?
Absolutely. You're not a prisoner here. I have no contract for you.
How much was the sword piece you wanted for? Or how much?
200 platinum pieces.
Okay. Like, do you care if we identify the items in that library room?
If you
Just
ask
give
me, I
the
can
value
tell
to
you
us.
what they are, save your time and energy.
Well, I know my associates wanted to identify them for themselves, so
You can feel free to do so if you like, but it seems
Okay.
like a waste of time. They're all
you don't
cataloged.
know them. Do you have, like, if they're all cataloged, do you have the book?
Yes, I have my records.
Can we see the record?
No, you may not.
Okay. Then they're gonna spend some time identify them then, because this is how they go.
Just ask, I can tell you what they all are and what they do.
Okay. I'm gonna walk back up to them. Is that your internet being unstable, Drastin?
Is that?
I don't hear anything.
My internet might be going crapping out on me then.
It looks like it. You're frozen. Oh, I saw you blink. You might be good.
Well, as long as you can hear me.
Yep.
I'm gonna walk up to Grayson and Blaylock and say that he only wants paid for the sword piece we have.
We are shut in here. He will not allow us to leave.
And he said that's
Or-
because we have a sword, something of his that we haven't paid for yet.
I'm gonna look at Grayson. I think we need to pay him.
Zoromir says, "I didn't take anything. You guys saw. I'm here. I didn't. I don't have any of those things."
I don't fully believe that yet, but he also gave us permission to identify the items in the library. I say we take the opportunity to go ahead and do so, and to keep talking about what we're going to do.
What is that list of items that were being stolen from Breckenfjord and replaced with phonies. Do any of these items belong in that book?
They may have been present in that room of collections we saw earlier.
Karajin said if we want to ask him what anything is, he would gladly tell us, but he will not let us see the records.
We have our records of our own and where they were shipped. Are any of these items part of that? We didn't have a list, Chris.
Yeah, we never actually got. I think Blaylock got to look at the books.
You looked at the books, but you did not take a list or take notes from that book.
No.
Okay. We just knew that certain places got shipments.
Stuff's gone. It went places. There were replacements there, and that was about it. There's a lot of stuff. Lots of stuff.
Grayson, can we test something to see if he will let us leave?
Not paying for my own family heirloom. I'm telling you that right now.
Yes.
Gautier, how much money do you have?
I have more than enough to cover what he wants for that sword piece.
Fine. Here, take my 40 platinum so you're not going broke.
You don't. I don't need that.
Okay,
Grayson, can you guys go to the library?
What?
And identify the magic items. I want to go talk to Karajinen.
Right.
And then I'll walk back to the office thing. I can't think of the word. Study. Yeah. I completely blacked out. I was gonna say
Office
studio.
something or another.
Decisions. What have you got?
They are all very hard to work with. They don't believe you'll let us leave on our own free will. I understand that you don't want us to leave with someone not paying for it. Will you open the door so I can leave? You can tell I have nothing of yours on
I know you have nothing of mine on you. You're more than welcome to leave.
Can you open the door so I can walk out to show Grayson that as long as we have nothing on us, we can leave?
As long
Or
as
if we pay for something.
It's funny that you think I care.
Shut up. You're not there. You don't know this.
As long as he's far enough away from the doors to not try to escape, you are welcome.
I will not let him out as a show of good faith for you bring us down here and not, killing us because you probably could kill us.
I have no
guys are
contract to
pussies,
kill
man.
any of you.
Shut up. I don't want to die. So I'll tell him I will be I'll back in a few minutes. And I'm going
get
to-
close to the door.
Okay. And I'll walk back up to the door.
As you reach the large doors, everyone else is in the library. You hear, and it opens just enough for you to get through.
Now walk out and say, guys, I'm outside. He'll let us go, and I'll walk back in.
Okay.
And be like, just have some faith there, Grayson. He'll let us go as long as we pay for anything we want. And then I'll walk back to Karajinen.
Closes back, and you. Oops. Didn't realize I was in there. Sorry. Yeah.
Good.
Door closes back, and you walk back into the study.
Like, thanks for helping me prove that you'll let us leave. And because I know how great it's going to be, will you do 180 for the sword piece?
Make a persuasion check.
+0. 19.
You're breaking up, so I don't know what you rolled.
19.
Since
This weapon is of Harker descent. I can part with it for 180 platinum pieces.
Just lost him.
I'll speak for him. Yes.
And he hands you 180 pieces.
And
We'll
with
just all
that,
help him out.
that's where we're going to end tonight. And we'll pick up there next week. So it is getting to that time. So thank you all for stopping by tonight. As always, fantastic. We love having you around. We'll get a game going up here this week. Some Phasmo or something like that. But hopefully you enjoyed the session tonight, and we look forward to you being in the dungeon next week with us as we see what happens with this enlightening situation. As always, don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or your favorite podcast service. Until next week, we will see you in the dungeon.
We'll all have new characters.
Haha.
Not gonna be pretty. Damn, Grayson.
You guys know